If you are in a relationship where you have repeatedly asked your partner to change something, or there's a behavior you are not happy about, and it's constantly coming up, this behavior, then you need to pay attention to what I'm going to say. When you notice a behavior once, it can be a big behavior, that's a big red flag. But with some behaviors, you need to observe for a pattern, because a one-off is not going to give you enough information. It's data. So you need to file that. Second time, you are observing now, something is unfolding. And third time, it's becoming a pattern. And obviously, for many people, sometimes we notice and we file it away. But some people would jump in and say something, because some people cannot contain themselves and they believe that they need to nip it in the bud. Nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you need to be patient with human beings, because we are all flawed. But also it depends on what it is. The next time you are noticing a pattern unfold, you say it for the second time. If you are going to this person for this third time, then I think you need to question yourself about your intentions and about what your inner states are like. Because this is a sign already that you have got a problem with boundaries. If you are going to have to repeat to an adult that you don't like something constantly, then you have a problem. And this is the thing that we are struggling with in our relationships, where people are coming with complaints. And then they turn this person into the bad guy. But they themselves are not seeing their role in this, where you don't have boundaries. Because you're not having boundaries is the major issue here. Because you are supposed to look out for you. He or she doing what they are doing or refusing to change might actually be either they have a problem, or you found them like that and they don't want to be changed. So they are not growing, they are not going to grow, or they are trying to demonstrate their autonomy and making a choice. It might be a problem with you, but it might not be a problem with them, and it might not be a problem at all. Because we've got some issues in society where we are challenging each other around what to tell a partner to do. And if, number one, you found that partner doing that thing that you don't want them to do, then you don't have a right to challenge them to change anything. Foremost, you can make requests, don't get me wrong, about how you feel about that thing. Notice the difference. When you make requests, you say how you feel about that thing, not to tell them to change something for you to feel better. Number two, if the behavior started when you were in the relationship, it is important and it is growth for you to assess the dynamic, your side of the dynamic, so that you can look into any changes you can make, because something in the dynamic has triggered this dysfunctional behavior of your partners. Because we all have trauma, and something we do in the relationship might or will affect our partner, because we impact each other in a relationship. And if you have made changes and you are noticing that your partner is not making any improvements, you can always ask again or make requests again for changes or how you feel about a situation. And if there's no change once again, this is when you need to assess your relationship, your choice of partner, and see whether you are in the right place. What you choose to do when you have a partner who's doing something you are not comfortable with is going to be either intentional or from a place of fear or very subconscious if you haven't healed your life. And the choices we make when we haven't done any inner work or when we are not reflecting can be detrimental to our well-being. Whereas if we do some inner work, we are going to make choices from a healed place, from a place of best interest. You are dealing with an adult who's making choices to maintain a certain behavior, and you do not have the right to try and change another adult. That is not the reason you got into a relationship. You need to have boundaries, and what boundaries mean is that you are uncomfortable about something, but make sure you use tools to assess whether this is your trauma speaking or there is justification in your upset, in your disappointment, in your trigger. So you need to parent yourself using tools, explore what the unmet needs are, see if you can meet those needs, and then practice the dichotomy of control, whether you have to talk to your partner or not. And this is a major helper or a concept that's going to save your life and relationships with other people. Because when you understand the dichotomy of control and you live by it, your boundary is to say, this is not comfortable for me. I will foremost make some changes to what I feel might be contributing or my part of this issue. Because there is always something in the dynamic which is triggering all those behaviors that you don't like in your partner. And you are one of the partners. So look into your part, and then if you are doing your best, then you might have to say, I can't stand this, so I'm going to have to leave this relationship. Because what you need to reflect on when you are struggling with a behavior in a relationship is whether you ignored the red flags from the start or you are trying to change someone. Both of them anyway, they go together. You ignored red flags to change this person, or maybe it's new behavior and you are trying to change this person. But the only person you can change, unfortunately, is you, which is why relationships become toxic, because people try to change other people instead of focusing on themselves. Because if we were to learn the dichotomy of control and invest in ourselves and live our joy, enjoy our interest, our hobbies, regulate ourselves, observe our partner's behavior, enjoy the time we spend with our partner, be in the moment. Because that's an episode for another day. Be in the moment. Just be present when your partner is there rather than hassle your partner, screech at your partner, scream at your partner, question your partner, challenge your partner, hound your partner. Who wants to be with someone who is like in the forest hunting an animal? Nobody wants that. And sometimes you need to reflect on this as a reason your relationship is crumbling, because of control behaviors. You need to question yourself when your relationship is going the wrong direction. Was my choice of a partner a good choice? What does that say about my choice? How I choose partners and how I choose how I live. And my behavior right now, or the way the relationship is unfolding, what does that say about my choice of decision making, about my choice of behavior, about my choice of communication? And you are needing to ask yourself, am I a savior? Because someone is not changing, and this person might actually have toxic or unhealthy behaviors. Maybe you are living with somebody who's alcohol dependent, drug dependent, or any substance or something dependent. You are needing to ask yourself whether you are a savior and why you are in this situation. This is where we invite you to assess the type of parents who raised you and assess how you were loved and disciplined at home, and assess what it is you need to do to reparent your inner child and start to use tools to tune into your emotions and use them to make decisions in your best interest and to make changes in how you show up, make changes in how you are doing relationship. Make changes in how you are communicating. Look for an accountability partner to support you through the journey. Look for community. Look for a co-parent to help you to reparent your inner child. Look for support out there so that you make decisions in your best interest before you ruin your relationships, before you then give up.